My neighbor's spotlight ruined my perfect evenings, so I turned his yard into a jungle. About 4 years ago, I was living in this perfect little HOA community in small-town Texas. Picture this: 2-acre lots, wide open spaces, and I had exactly one neighbor visible over my backyard fence. The rest of my property backed up to this endless hayfield that stretched to the horizon. Man, those summer evenings on the back patio were something else. You could see every star in the sky because there wasn't a streetlight for miles. It was the kind of place where you'd grab a beer after work and just decompress watching the sunset paint the field golden. Then my neighbor decided to ruin paradise. This guy installed what I can only describe as a miniature stadium light over his back porch. We're talking aircraft beacon bright, aimed directly across the fence line like a spotlight hitting my patio and bedroom windows. Suddenly, my peaceful stargazing nights turned into squinting through what felt like an interrogation lamp. I tried blackout curtains in the bedroom, but sitting outside became impossible unless I wanted to feel like I was being investigated by the FBI. I figured the HOA would sort this out, so I called them about maybe adding a privacy screen to my fence. Nope, already at the 8-foot maximum height limit, and apparently their bylaws were written by someone who never anticipated suburban light warfare. Nothing we can do about lighting complaints, they said with that bureaucratic shrug you can hear through the phone. So I swallowed my pride and walked over there with a $20 bill. After 3 years of just waving from our respective back porches, this was going to be our first actual conversation. I rang the doorbell, introduced myself properly, and laid out the situation. Hey, I totally get wanting security lighting, but this thing is turning my backyard into a landing strip. Any chance you could angle it down or maybe let me buy you a motion sensor light? I even offered to grab him a case of whatever beer he drank. The guy seemed reasonable enough. Oh yeah, sure, I can point it down. Didn't realize it was bothering anyone. I walked away thinking we'd solved this like adults. A month later, nothing had changed. The light still blazed across my property every night like the eye of Sauron. When I went back to follow up, his whole attitude had shifted. Actually, I changed my mind. I'm keeping it exactly where it is. Just like that. No explanation, no compromise. That's when my military problem solving kicked in. If diplomacy was off the table, time for strategic thinking. I spent weeks researching fast-growing privacy plants, diving deep into HOA bylaws, city ordinances, state regulations, looking for any angle I could use. That's when I discovered golden bamboo. This stuff grows like something out of a horror movie in Texas heat. 20 feet tall, spreads like wildfire, and here's the beautiful part: completely legal to plant. The HOA couldn't touch me, the city didn't care, and the only recourse my neighbor had was cutting whatever grew on his side of the property line. Since his house sat maybe 15 feet from the fence while mine was 50 yards back, I knew exactly who'd be dealing with bamboo management. Planted a whole row right against the fence line. But here's where I got a little creative with the root barrier. Most people put it on both sides to contain the spread. I only put it on my side. 6 months later, his house and that damn light had completely vanished behind a wall of green bamboo. 1 year in, I started getting these passive-aggressive letters about encroachment and property damage. Straight into the trash they went. He even came to my door once, but I just watched him through the window until he gave up and left. 2 years after planting, I got a job offer I couldn't refuse and sold the house. I honestly forgot about the whole situation until recently when I was feeling nostalgic and decided to check out the old neighborhood on Google Earth. His entire backyard is now a bamboo forest. The satellite image looks like he's living in a jungle compound. I may have moved on, but that bamboo is apparently living its best life.